Are you looking for true personal freedom? The freedom to design a life you truly desire? Then you're absolutely in the right place. True personal freedom comes from when you take 100% responsibility and control of your money and your mind. Here you're going to learn ideas, tips, and wisdom that's going to help you bridge the gap from where you are now to your dream life in the future. My name is Randy Wilson, and welcome to the Rich Mind Podcast. Hello, and welcome back to the Rich Mind Podcast. And today, let's have a discussion about money and where money comes from, where you can get more of it, and just a basic discussion. Let's dive in. Let's see where this goes. This was just a thought that I was having. This is going to be a combination of a lot of the teachings that I've been taught, and then I've obviously tried to implement these things into my life, and I've had some success. So hopefully they can help you gain some success as well. So the idea, let's start off with a quote, right? This comes from the late great Zig Ziglar. And he says that you can have anything in your life that you want. You can be, do, or have anything that you want in life if you help enough people get what they want. So let's break that down. So let's think about that for just a minute. If you have the ability to help anybody get what they're looking for, right? So what does that mean? That means you're going to help people solve problems. The idea is that if you approach life and approach business, sales in a way that you're trying to provide a service, a product or service that's going to solve a problem, and if you help enough people solve that problem, if it's a big enough problem, you literally can have anything in life that you want. And that's the whole idea. Is that you're going to become a problem solver. One thing I used to study, and I still do study, marketing, right? So the idea in a marketing study class or a book that I was reading at the time, this was a few years back, so I might butcher this a little bit, but the idea is the same. And it's just a thought experiment that a person doesn't go to a hardware store looking for a drill. So think about that just for a minute. So if you're going to be going to the hardware store, and just picture yourself getting your car, you're going to go down to the local Lowe's or the Home Depot, and in your mind, you're thinking that you want to go buy a drill. Well, the idea is that person, and if that's you, it's not that you don't need or want a drill. You actually need or want a hole. That's what you desire. You need a hole, which is what the drill provides. So the idea, though, is that you are solving a problem by providing that drill in the marketplace. So that's where you need to kind of put your thinking or put your thoughts as far as where and what problem can you solve in the marketplace. Another mentor of mine, David Nagel, you've probably heard me mention him several times. He talks about sales. And the only way money moves in our economy, in the capitalistic society that we live in today, is through sales. And it's the only way money is generated. So whether you work for a company or not, regardless, it doesn't matter. At some point in your business, whatever company you're working for, even if you're a W-2 employee, if there are no sales, there is no money. And if there is no money, they cannot pay you. So if you're trading your time for money or trading your time for dollars, you need to make sure that the sales are coming into that business. And if you have a direct access to helping with those sales, that's going to benefit you in the long run. So let's think about that also for just a second. So money is generated or money is transferred it comes from people, right? So from either individuals or other companies, right? Through people to solve a problem. Right? So if a business or whatever business is as out there doing, it doesn't matter. As I mentioned, the drill idea just a minute ago, but the hardware store, the whatever local business, the recording that I'm doing this on right now, it's a business. Somebody I'm paying them for the service of recording this message that I'm going to then deliver to you through somebody else's business, right? They're solving my problems, which is allowing me to pay them to generate and create an income. But money is delivered through a sale, but it comes from people that solves a problem, right? So that's where you need to focus on. Sales isn't something bad. you need to this is one thing that actually it helped me when I changed this idea in my mind, that it really helped me in terms of thinking of sales as being a bad thing, right? But thinking of sales is that you're doing it for somebody, not that you're doing it to somebody. So that was something that, as I was brought up, right, you get the feeling, right, the uneasy feeling of sales, and that you don't want to do it, that that you don't necessarily feel like you are being of value to the community, right? Being a salesman, they kind of have a negative stigma. But the idea is that that person, if they are offering a great product or a great service, is out there to solve your problem or another business's problem. And because of that, they generate some income. So if you are going to think about getting into business, right? Let's say you're at a W-2 job now and you don't want to be in that job anymore, right? You're thinking about starting a business. My suggestion to you would be to find what the problems are in the marketplace first. So what I've seen, and I've started and I've done this in the past when I was in very early beginning of my journey, was that I would create something that I thought that I wanted, right? And I thought that is what that whole saying, if you create it, they will come type idea. And that is nothing that is not even close to being true. You can spend a lot of time, you can spend a lot of effort, a lot of money creating something that the marketplace will flat out tell you and reject it based on the demand. You're not solving a big enough problem. So that's where I would suggest that you start. Find a product, find a service that there is a demand in the marketplace, and then go to work to fill that demand. Like I mentioned about the drill story just a little bit ago, right? If you know that there's a huge demand for drills because a lot of people are, drilling holes, then you know that you can go out and be a drill supplier or a drill maker, right? And service that need in the marketplace and focus on that first. That was one thing that helped me when I built out my Amazon e-commerce business, was that I was able to find with relative certainty. It was never 100% certainty, but I would say close to 80 to 90% certainty that a product that was desired in the marketplace. And all I had to do was go acquire that product and then put it in front of the consumer that I knew there was a demand. Hence, then there was a sale and there was a transaction that generated the income, that generated the money. And I started to see some success with that. But the idea was that I found the need or the desire from the consumer first. And then I went out and found the product. I didn't necessarily care what the product was. Some people get caught up on, what it is, what it does. And I'm not saying you shouldn't care at all, but I would say that I would put that a little bit further back on the worrying about that as far as if you're trying to get into business first. The idea, though, is to, as I mentioned, find a product, find a service that there is a demand, whether it's in your local market or obviously with the internet, you can be a business all over the world. But find the demand first. Once you find that demand, then go to work on either building out that product or find a supply of that product and then deliver it to them at a fair price, right? You need to make a profit, which is what business is all about. But at the end of the day, find a quality product, deliver it at a fair price, and you'll have more business that you know what to do with. And that's kind of the whole idea. So you can have anything in your life that you want if you go out there and help enough people get what they want. So focus on what they want, right? Focus on what the consumer out in the world today needs and wants, and then go to work to build a business around that. And I'll tell you that if you do that first, your chances of succeeding will exponentially grow, which then will obviously keep you engaged and keep you going further to build out more opportunities, right? Because once you learn this skill, once you learn the idea of finding the need in the marketplace first, ideas are everywhere. Opportunities are everywhere. And then you can pick and choose what's going to be best for you and what you do best in the marketplace. So start with the end in mind. Start with the product or the need first of the consumer, then go out there and build the business around that. Hopefully that serves you today. If not, let me know. I want to know that as well. And if so, definitely let me know that too. I would appreciate a review. I'm looking to get as many reviews as I can for the podcast, trying to spread the message. And if you're willing to supply me with an honest review, if you're getting value from the content here, I would greatly appreciate that. So until the next episode, I look forward to connecting with you all again very soon. And until then, bye now. Thank you for joining me on the Rich Mind Podcast. I hope you found a ton of value in this episode. If so, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review, and you can also share it with your family and friends. And as my mentor Jim Rohn shared with me, in order to have more, you must first become more. And in order to become more, you must work harder on yourself than you do on your job. So go out there today and work harder on yourself to become more and build the life of your dreams. Until next time, my friends.